Hello, welcome to the presentation of Human Touch. I'm glad to present this on behalf of my co-authors. I'm currently talking to you as a virtual representation, and I hope you see me as a human being. But why do you think I'm human? Is it because of the way I look? Because of the way I move? The way I speak to you? And when comparing this to human characters in VR experiences, it often looks like this. This nice gentleman is interrogating you. His appearance is modeled, his voice is recorded, and his movement are recorded via motion capturing. But he does not react to your movement and to your interaction. And what you see here is common in VR experiences, as these pre-scripted events are limited to the interaction possibilities. Unexpected behavior or lack of reaction breaks the illusion. Computer-controlled characters are often easy to spot during such interactions. If the illusion is supposed to be perfect, there should be no difference between the computer-controlled agent and the human-controlled avatar. Let's assume that you're interacting with a virtual character that you identify as an agent. What if that character then reaches out and touches you? That brings us to our research question: does social touch increase the perceived agency of computer-controlled agents? Upon a touch, does that change the perception of that character? In this case, perceived agency means how human-controlled the character appears to be. Social touch is an important part of human communication. Currently, you see the importance of this due to social distancing. Social touch could mean that you accidentally bump into someone on the street, an intended handshake, or even a kiss or a hug with a loved one. Important for a social touch is the context and what senses are involved in. Therefore, not every haptic feedback creates social touch. It's kind of a human response to the touch, the same as presence is a human response to immersion. For this, we consider different approaches, such as EMS of Lopez or a contact sleeve. We also considered our own drone system to apply such feedback. We see these approaches not to be suited for our task, as we assume that the human hand is the optimum for this task, and we wanted to eliminate all possible side effects and appear as human as possible. Therefore, we created a prototype that's able to perform a warm and soft social touch similar to a real human hand. We chose a prototype that's able to pose, such as a human hand with flexible joints, and heat up to the average temperature of a human hand. We also evaluated this in a pre-study, comparing the artificial hand to the real human hand, and the participants were not able to distinguish between those two. Now I want to show you how we used the hand prototype in the study. As you can see here, you can identify this virtual character as an agent due to its glitches. We then performed the social touch on the participant. To evaluate our approach, we placed the participant as the captain of a spaceship that got invaded by aliens. These aliens replicate human behavior, but they fail to do so perfectly. The participants got presented with a virtual character, either an agent or an avatar. After a short introduction that included waving or looking around, it got followed up by a shoulder tap by the experimenter. This was done for both avatar and agents. The avatar was live-tracked. The agent, on the other hand, was pre-recorded and the movements were modified. This was done to make the agent easy to distinguish while still offering a challenge. We also evaluated this in a pre-study. We used 4 conditions to represent the interaction for avatar and agent, both with and without touch. We measured the perceived agency, so how human-controlled the character appears to be. We also used co-present embarrassment and likability, as we see this as attributes that are similar to standing next to a real human being. We used aligned rank transformation for non-parametric factorial analysis, the so-called ART analysis by Woodbrock. For all measurements, the avatar was higher rated than the agent. For 3 out of 4 measurements, the agent with touch was significantly better than the agent without touch. Important to note here is that high agency means that the character is perceived as human-controlled and therefore appears to be human. To conclude this presentation, interactions with computer-controlled agents are important for VR. But state-of-the-art experiences avoid direct contact with virtual characters due to the lack of appropriate haptic feedback. We showed that social touch blurs the boundaries between agents and avatars. As a consequence, we see huge potential for our approach to complementarily improve the depiction of human characters in VR experiences. Thank you for the interest in the presentation, even during these circumstances. For more details, please refer to the paper, and if there's anything you want to discuss, I'm more than happy to receive your email. Thank you.